3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Whoops, my happy self got a bit ahead of itself. Chinese New Year doesn't start until February 12th. Come to think of it, it's also the year of the ox, which is another species entirely. Well, at least I'm 50% right on all counts. Speaking of partially finished, let's dive into some sketches I've been working on. Stick around for the completed pages, and an in-depth explanation that makes my wife roll her eyes 100% of the time. If this sort of thing sinks your sub, subscribe below. Welcome to a new page. This is what it looks like when I start working, and you'll see the good ship subscribe up there in case I'm ever recording. In this case I certainly am. And on the other side is an artist's palette, what I call proof colors, and these are colors that I have used for backgrounds, for goats, for mountain lions, water, all that good stuff. So I know to kind of use that somewhat limited color palette, and that helps me out and keeps everything consistent within the text. And here I am, starting work on a new page. First thing to put in is all of the text, so I just have a Google document that I take that from, and that's where the manuscript is in. So I just find the correct text and stick it in the page, and then I begin drawing with the brush tool, and as you can see, some of these are a little bit rough, and certainly they get tweaked any number of times before I actually commit to the full color version. So here's the sketchy sketch part, where I'm just figuring out how I want the page to look, what I'm going to do, what size all these different things are going to be, and cleaning up a bit. Some of those lines get tangled over each other, and I'm like, well, what to do. So anytime that there is somebody saying something or thinking something, then I'm usually thinking, let's do either a thought bubble, maybe a speech bubble, some combination of those. So you'll see notes line there. What gives Totes My Goats is going to be in some sort of a speech bubble, and Totes is thinking, so obviously that's in the thought bubble. And I think, actually, I stopped recording here fairly soon, and so I'm going to take you over to the finished page, and you'll be able to see the night and day difference, among other things, and then we'll also go through what sorts of things make Elizabeth roll her eyes. So let's go ahead and pop on over and get into that. Let's take it from the top. Meanwhile, Totes finally noticed his very best friend, but he saw her as food with a juicy rear end. He purred and then pounced, going after Sweet Nose, who ran away warbling, "What gives, Totes My Goats?" Totes screeched to a halt and thought with a bleat, "Why is my friend on the menu to eat?" So Totes is noticing Notes, his very best friend. And there's a lot of that going on throughout the book, where Notes is being noticed. So there's a bad pun for you right there. And you'll see she's kind of split here between two thought bubbles, and she's being thought about in rather different ways, being food on the left here and a friend on the right. But in both cases, you can see she's got these little nibble marks separating her, and she's also a very musical goat, so that's why she has this little note pattern on her skin or hair. And that's why she is warbling what gives Totes my goats. For his part, Totes is purring and he is pouncing, which is a simple alliteration with the letter P. And he is also part boat, and so he's creating a bit of a wake in the grass, which is just a fun little visual gag that's going on there. Next, Totes is screeching to a halt, and you will see on his woodwork here the outline of a stop sign, or at least what could be interpreted as a stop sign. So these are just little details that I'm putting in there just for my own enjoyment, my own amusement. So if you miss them, that's not a problem. I will not be taking it personally because I've already gotten the enjoyment out of putting it there in the first place. And finally, I will leave you with the rhyme of bleat and eat, and how I'm considering using as a tagline for this whole book, "You are what you bleat." So, hope you've enjoyed this. I know I have. And until next time, this is your sensei saying sayonara.